Hi, I'm Sharma Kern with Thai Healing Massage Academy, and I'm here with my wife Jang, who is from Thailand. Welcome to another edition of our Thai Massage questions and answer series. Today's question is it better to do Thai massage on a floor mat or on a table? Now, I have to state my preference right from the beginning. I've always worked on a floor mat. I definitely prefer it for a whole number of reasons. And what about you?
Yes, it's much easier to work on the mat.
Yes, so we both agree on that. But there are some scenarios where you might prefer to work on a massage table. Can you think of any?
Yes, for example, people who have back or knee problems.
Exactly. So if someone has some physical condition that doesn't allow them to work on a mat, then you would better work on a table. However, I just want to mention that in many cases, if you are new to Thai massage and first you try to work on the floor mat, your knees and your ankles, they will complain, not because there's something really wrong with them, but because you've never done it, you're not used to it. And if you just do that for a couple of weeks, in most cases, in my experience with hundreds of students, those knee and those ankle problems, they will just go away and you can do it just fine. You just have to get used to it. Here's another reason why you might have to work on a table, and that is if you work in a spa environment and they just don't provide mats. They expect you to work on a table, so in that case you have no choice. And there might be more reasons. Can you think of any?
Yes, if you combine Thai massage and oil massage techniques.
That's true. Now, actually, here in Thailand, oil massage, that's the word they use for Swedish massage, is actually done on the floor, right? You do oil massage on the floor mat, right?
Yes, correct.
But I know in the Western world, oil massage or Swedish massage is always done on the table. And in that case, if you just want to add in some Thai massage techniques, yes, definitely in that case, you would do that Thai massage on the table. And here's one more scenario. You personally, for whatever personal reasons, just don't want to work on a floor mat. And that's okay. I mean, everyone has their boundaries, their preferences. And if that's just your decision, a lot of Thai massage can be done on a table. However, I have to tell you, if you work on a floor mat, if you can do it, if you're willing to do this, you have more options on a floor mat. It is better for your ergonomics. It's easier to work with your body weight, and it's just more comfortable. It's much easier to move around on the floor mat. So we will show you how that works in actual practice. So there is no doubt that there are many Thai massage techniques that can be done on the table. And in some cases you can modify it a little bit, that it works on the table. And I've even seen therapists, they climb on a table, they sit on a table, they even stand on a table. But I'm thinking, if you're so acrobatic that you can stand on the table, you might as well work on the floor and do your acrobatics down there, and it's going to be much more effective and much more easy. But anyway, there are a number of techniques that really don't work on a table. So you have more options on a floor mat. And let me show you a few. For example, this technique that I'm going to show you now, it's not exactly a technique from traditional Thai massage, but it's part of my system of Thai massage. It's a very nice technique, clients love it, it's very effective, and it cannot be done on a table. Looks like this. Obviously, it's a technique for the shoulders and the upper back. So if you want to do that on a table, you had to have a very, very wide table and totally climb on top of it. And on a normal Western style massage table, this just cannot be done. So here's another technique which is really, I would say, impossible to do on a regular size Western massage table. It could be done if you have a special really wide table, but on a normal massage table, this is very difficult to do. And it looks like this. It's a hip stretch and it works on the hamstrings. So if you are on a table which is not very wide, at the very least the knee is hanging over the table and it's kind of a wobbly affair. It's definitely more stable and easier to do on the floor. And here's another thing. In Thai massage, one of the big advantages is you can get very easily on top, totally on top of people. And for many techniques, this is great for ergonomics and for leverage. For example, this is one of the rocking techniques I use, and for that one, you really need to be right on top of someone in order to have good ergonomics, which on a table obviously wouldn't be possible. Here's another technique which is next to impossible or very, very difficult to do on a table unless, again, you have a very wide table. It's a hip flexor stretch and it looks like this. So for this one, you really need to be on top of someone to have good leverage. So sure, you can do many of those Thai massage stretches on a table if you're a real acrobat. But it's a little bit scary because the table is narrow and body parts are hanging off the table, and it doesn't feel as supported, it doesn't feel as safe as if you work on the floor where you can easily move around someone, get on top of someone, get underneath someone. So yes, you can do Thai massage on a table, but if you can, and if you are willing to try this, I would definitely recommend to work on the floor, and I think you will have a better experience. Here's another thing which works great on a mat and it doesn't work at all on a table, and that is if you turn people over from one position to another, let's say from supine into side or from side into prone. So on a table you have to ask people, can you please turn on your side? Can you please lie on your back? Can you please lie face down? Can you turn over this way? So you have to make people work basically. But if you have a good sized mat, you can do that without your client needing to do anything. For example, now we're in supine position. So if I want to roll her over into the side position, all I have to do is do it myself like this. And here she is. And if I want to reverse this, well, easy. I just roll her back over. If you do that on a table, you'll pretty much roll her off the table, or at least she would be dangerously hanging over the side of the table. So that is one big advantage. You can just be more fluid on the mat than on a table. Sometimes my students have told me that they think it might be difficult for them to get their clients off the table onto a floor mat. Now, many times that's just a matter of presenting it properly. If you tell your clients that Thai massage is generally done on a floor mat because it's more comfortable, it allows you to do more techniques that are good for them, and it's a more stable situation for them, and you can make them feel totally comfortable on a mat. If you present it that way, in general, you shouldn't have any problems to get them to lie down on a mat. Now there's one other possibility. If you have elderly clients and it's a little bit difficult for them to lie down or get up from a mat, well, that has happened to me quite a few times, and to you too, I imagine. So what do you do in such cases?
Yeah, just help them.
Exactly, that's what I did. We just helped them a little bit and they appreciate it. It's a personal touch, and I mean, I have to tell you, personally, I've never had anyone tell me, oh, I don't want to lie down on a mat. So if you just present it nicely, in general, that shouldn't be a problem. For more information how to practice Thai massage successfully on a floor mat, check out Thai Healing Massage Academy's 20 Thai massage online training courses at thaihealingmassage.com.